So in this video, we are going to discuss about how to use 86E kit. So this kit is used for downloading your program into the processor present on the kit and then executing the program with this processor. So instead of simulating, we are going to dump the program into the 8086 processor and we are going to execute it in this particular processor. Okay, so for that, the top one is your cap. So let us remove it. So that is the total kit of your ESA 86 by 88E. So if you can see, you can see the name written over here. It is ESA 86 or 88E kit. Okay, 8051 kit also looks the same. So whenever you are taking the kit, so we have to check which kit we are going to take. Okay, so all the ICs present over there are your microprocessor and the other ICs are your 8255 keyboard drivers and all the other ICs are present over there. Your memory, everything is present on this particular board. So if I want to program, so I have to type in the program. So in order to type in the program, so we can use this kit in two modes. Okay, one mode is called as standalone mode. Standalone mode means here we are going to connect a keyboard. Okay, so to this particular connector we can connect a PS2 type of keyboard and we can type the program using that keyboard. Nothing else, only this kit and that particular keyboard only. Okay, whatever you type, that will be displayed on this LCD screen. Okay, this particular mode is called as standalone mode. Standalone means there is no computer involved, only your kit and a keyboard, that's it. But because the display is very small, so looking at if your programs are large, some 30 lines or 40 lines, it will be difficult for us to debug in which line we got wrong. So that is why instead of going for this keyboard mode or standalone mode, we will be going for serial mode. So this is the pin or the connector where we are going to connect the USB cable. Okay, to this connector we have to connect the USB cable. So the keyboard we can connect at the bottom of the kit and the serial for serial communication, the USB cable can be connected at the top of the kit. Okay, so this is your kit. At the top of the kit you have your USB port. So to this USB port we will be connecting the one end of your USB cable and the other end you can connect it to the computer so that we can do everything with the computer. So whenever we use this serial communication, that is serial mode, so there is no need for a keyboard over here. We will be using the monitor of the computer, we will be using the keyboard of the computer and we are going to type the program and execute it. Okay, Nama? So whenever you are using the serial mode, we will be using the monitor of the computer. So this will be a dummy. Nothing will be displayed over here. Only the monitor of the computer will be used and the keyboard of the computer can be used, and also because you have to connect or we have to talk something to this kit with the computer requires some software and that software is called as TERM86E or Win86E. So now we will be talking about only TERM86E, TERM86E. That is the software that is required in the computer so that from the computer we can communicate with this particular kit. Okay, so next, so for this kit to work, so it requires power supply. So at the top left corner, you have the power connector. Okay, so this is where we will be connecting the power supply. At the top left corner we are going to connect the power supply, and because we are using serial mode, the USB cable connected over here on the top right corner. Okay, and if you see, there are some switches over here. So at the top middle there are some switches, DIP, dual in package switches. Okay, so if you look at the switches, switch number 3, 4 and 7 are on and the remaining switches are off, isn't it? If we can see, so let me show you clearly. Okay, so switch number 3, 4 and 7 are on and the remaining switches are off. So what is this? So for these diff switches, so if you look at this, switch number 8 is not used, switch number 6 is not used, they are reserved. Switch number 5 is for printer driver enabled, so we are not going to use a printer, so that is also not used. So 5, 6 and 8 are not used. Next, switch number 7 is used for CPU selection. So that means for selecting either 8086 or 8088 CPU. Of course, for this particular kit, we can connect any one of these 86 or 88, but only 8086 is connected. Okay, so because we have to use 8086, the 7th switch should be on. Okay, 7th switch should be on because we are going to use 8086 microprocessor. And next, 4th switch is for operational mode. Okay, if I want to use standalone mode, that is with a keyboard, then the 4th switch should be off. If I want to use serial mode, that is with my computer, then the 4th switch should be on. Okay, so 7th switch should be on for making or for selecting 8086 microprocessor, and 4th switch should be on for selecting serial mode. And switch number 1, 2 and 3 are used for baud rate selection if you are using serial communication. Serial mode use chestunte, then we will be using switches 1, 2 and 3 for selecting the baud rate. So normally we will be using 9600 baud rate. Okay, we will be using 9600 baud rate. So for using 9600 baud rate, switch 1 should be off, switch 2 should be off and switch 3 should be on. Okay, so switch 1 is off, 2 is off and 3 is on for 9600 baud rate. Okay, Namma? So completely switch 3 should be on, 4 should be on and 7 should be on for your system to work correctly in serial mode. Okay, so this is the adapter that you will be using. So one end of the adapter you will be connecting it into the plug. So let me connect it. Okay, and you can see the light glowing on the adapter. So the adapter is on, and the other end of the adapter will be like this. Okay, one end of the adapter into the power socket. This is the other end of the adapter. So you are going to connect it to the power connector of your kit on the left side, top left corner. Okay, and you can see that the monitor is on. That means the LCD display is on. Okay, so what is it showing? It is showing that the kit is ESA86E kit, of course version 3.0. The processor you are going to select is 86. The processor you are selecting is 86. You are using serial mode and the baud rate is 9600. Okay, why? Because I have used switch 4 in on position. For example, if I make this switch 4 off and I again reset this, see, it is now showing it as keyboard mode. Okay, Namma? So switch 4 should be on for serial mode. And of course, if I make switch 1 also on, that means 1 is on, 2 is off and 3 is on. Okay, on, off and on, the baud rate should be 600. So if I reset it, see the baud rate became 600. Okay, so normally we will be using 9600 baud rate. So 1, 2, 3 should be off, off and on. So first switch should be off, second switch is off, and third switch is on. So 9000. So every time you reset, so the parameters will be reset on the display. Okay, so this is how you are going to set your kit. So very easy. Have the power cord here, and the settings of these DIP switches, switch 3, switch 4 and switch 7 should be on, and all the remaining should be off. And next one, so I have to communicate it with my computer, so I have to connect a USB cable between the kit and the computer. Okay, so this is the USB cable. So one end will be like this and the other end is like this. So this end will be going into the kit and this end will be going into the USB port of your computer. Okay, so let us connect this to the kit. Okay, that's it. The other end I will be connecting it to my computer. Okay, so that is about the kit. So now everything we will be doing in the computer, we will be using the monitor of the computer, we will be using the keyboard of the computer. So we are not going to use the kit for anything else for the time being. Okay, so for interfacing we have to interface the kits over here. So for standalone applications, so this is how you will be setting your 86 ESA 86E kit. Okay, so how to dump the program into this kit and how to execute it. So let us look at it in the computer. So when we connect the USB cable from the kit to the computer, so then it will be connected to some communication port. So firstly we have to find out which communication port it got connected to. For that, go to this computer if it is Windows 10, or as my computer, click on manage. Okay, then the computer management tab will be opened, under which on the left hand side you have device manager. Okay, so finally you have to open this device manager and then you will be finding out all the different ports that I have. Okay, so now, so these are the different devices that are presently connected to my laptop. So now if I connect this 8086E kit to my computer, so then another device will be added and it will be added under ports. Okay, so this is the ports. Okay, see, USB serial port COM4. Okay, so that means my 86E kit is being added to communication port 4. Okay, COM4. So this is what we have to have in mind. COM4 is the communication port to which my kit is being connected. So now the software which is used for talking to the kit is term 86E. So I have already installed on my system. Okay, so it is term 86E. Okay, so this is the thing. See. So when I try to open it, it is showing the port is already in use. Serial parameters should be changed. And do you want to change? Of course, we need to change. Only then the software will be opening. So click on yes. See, these are the port settings that are present. Baud rate is 9600. Yes, we have set the baud rate as 9600 on my kit. And next communication port is given as COM6. No, it is COM4. So we have to select COM4 from here. Okay, now so this is why at the starting I have gone to device manager and checked which port my kit is connected to. So it is connected to communication 4 port, COM4 port. So I have selected COM4. So these settings remains the same: 8 data bits, 1 stop bit, and no parity bits. And click on apply, and automatically your window opens. Okay, so this is the term 86E window. Okay, so if you see at the bottom, you have a command line. So whatever you type, that will be displayed only in this command line. Whenever you are typing, that will be displayed over here. And when you click enter, that will be showcased on the center screen. Okay, now until you press enter, whatever you type will be displayed over here. Okay. So this is the terminal from where you are going to send instructions to your 86E kit. Okay, so this is the terminal from where you are going to send the instruction. That is what is called as term 86E, terminal for 86E kit. Okay, and of course here you can see that COM4 9600 baud rate. So that is, and it is being connected. Okay, everything is displayed at the bottom of your term 86E. Okay, so here I have a command. Now I'll be starting typing. So what we need to do, we have to type in the program. So where can I type the program? We have to type the program in an assembler, isn't it? We have to type the program in an assembler. So in order to enter into the assembler, the command is A. So whatever I type will be over here at the bottom left. Okay, so the command is A space, from which address I have to type the program. So suppose, so in this particular kit, from address 0 to 2000 we should not use. All those are taken for internal storage of instructions and some other instructions. Okay, so internal instructions will be stored up to memory location 2000. So whatever program we write, we have to write only starting from 2000, not before that. Okay, so suppose I want to start my program from the address 2000. Okay, next in your MASM, every time we need to type H for hexadecimal, but here if you do not type anything, it will be automatically taking it as hexadecimal. So there is no need to type H. So A2000 means 2000 in hexadecimal is the address. Okay, so A2000 is the command to enter into the assembler starting from the address 2000. Okay, or else I'll do one thing, I'll take 3000, A space 3000. Okay, that means I'm going to start my program at the address 3000. And very important thing is, normally in your microprocessor 8086 we have 4 segments: code segment, data segment, stack segment and extra segment. But in this particular kit there are no segments. Okay, na? In this particular kit there are no segments. That means CS, DS, ES and SS are going to take the same address. CS, DS, ES, SS are going to take the same address. So there is no need to specify whether you are writing in data segment or code segment or something else, because we are not going to use any segments over here, because this processor is being designed for educational purpose. So there is no segmentation over here. Okay, so that is the reason why we are not going to separate our programs into different segments. So only one segment. So in that segment itself you are going to write the code, you are going to save the data, everything will be in the same segment. And now I am going to start that segment from the address 3000. Okay, A space 3000 is the command I have given, and I am going to click enter. Okay, so as soon as I click enter, see on the screen whatever command I have given, A3000 is displayed, and in the next line the present contents of that memory location are displayed. So presently the content is DB63, that means 63 byte is present over there. Okay, so already what is present over there is not a matter for me, because now I am going to overwrite it with my program. So at memory location 3000, so I am going to start writing my first instruction. Okay, so suppose I want to add two numbers, so and store the result into a memory location. Okay, I'm going to add two numbers and store the result into a memory location. So I have to take the, I'll be taking two numbers into two registers, add them, store the result into memory. Okay, so instruction is MOV. So whenever I type, look at the command line, so not at the center screen. Okay, so MOV space AX first register comma 1 2 3 4. So suppose you type H, move AX comma 1 2 3 4 H, and I'll be clicking on enter. See, this is the error you got, invalid operands. Okay, invalid operands, because 1 2 3 4 H it doesn't know. So and you are again in the same memory location 3000. So previously you are at 3000 and now also you are at 3000. So that means you can type in your new instruction over there. So move AX comma only 1 2 3 4. No H is required. If you type H, you will be getting an error. Okay, hexadecimal numbers need not be okay supplemented with H. By default, any number you type will be taken as a hexadecimal value. So move AX comma 1 2 3 4 and click on enter and see that. So move AX comma 1 2 3 4. So its machine code is B83412. Okay, B83412. So that is memory location 3000. So at 3000, B8 is stored, at 3001 34 is stored, at 3002 12 is stored. So the next memory location will be 3003 that is being displayed. Next memory location is 3003 and the contents over there are move dx comma a980 some garbage value, so that some garbage instruction move dx comma a980. So I am not interested in that instruction, so I will be writing my instruction. So in the command line typing, so move dx comma another number something like 5678. Okay, so move ax comma 1 2 3 4, move bx comma 5 6 7 8, and if I click enter, what happens? The opcode for this instruction will be shown and the next memory location and its contents will be shown. Okay, click on enter. Okay, so move bx comma 5 6 7 8, so its opcode is bb 7856. That's it, and the next address is going to be 3006. Some garbage instruction is present over there. So at 3006, I have to type in my next instruction. So it is something like add ax comma bx. So that is my third instruction. Click on enter. See add ax comma bx. Its opcode is 03C3. Okay. So the next address is 3008. So this is the instruction that is already present over there. Okay, so that is not a matter for me. So addition is performed, the result is stored in AX accumulator. So I want to get the result or store the result into memory location. Suppose I want to store the result at memory location 4000. So then what? How can I write? Move contented 4000 comma AX. Okay, the data present in AX will be moved into memory location 4000. See, if I press enter, so what it is showing? Invalid operands. So normally, so when you have learned in your 8086 theory, we have seen this direct addressing mode. The address should be present within square brackets. But on this particular kit, you have to give the address with an at the rate symbol. Okay, instead of move brackets 4000, you have to give move at the rate 4000 comma ax. Okay, is that clear, Amma? Move at the rate 4000 comma ax. That should be your instruction. For direct addressing mode, the address should be prefixed with at the rate, not square brackets. So move at the rate 4000 comma ax. Okay, so that is being stored and your next memory location is 3000b 300b. So that is the end of my program. So at the end of my program we will be giving int 3. Okay, click on enter. So that is my program. So I have entered into the assembler by giving a space 3000 and I have typed in my program. Okay, Nama. So now I have to come out of the assembler in order to execute it. Okay, so even in your MASM, so you have typed into in a separate file. When executing, you have closed that file and came here. Okay, in the same way now, you have entered into the assembler by giving a command called as a space 2000, or sorry, a space 3000. Now we have to come out of the assembler. So for coming out of the assembler, I had to give an exclamation mark. See, in the command window. I have to give an exclamation mark. Okay, so if I give an exclamation mark and click on enter, your program will be saved and you will be coming out of the assembler. So click on enter. Yes. So again I came to the dot prompt. Chudana. So previously you are in the A colon prompt. Assembler, if you are in the assembler, you will be in the A colon prompt. Okay. So if you are out of the assembler, you will be in the dot prompt. Okay. So I think you are able to see that dot. So at the dot prompt, you have to give commands. In the assembler, you have to type in your program instructions. So you have typed in your program. So what you have to do, you have to execute your program. Before that, I want to look at my program again, whether I have typed it correctly or not. So I can do it with the same command a space 3000. Click on enter. See, that is the command. So move ax comma 1234. I don't want to change it. Click on enter. If you want to change it, you can again change over here. Okay, na? If you want to change the program, you can change it here. Otherwise, you can click enter so that the next instruction will be shown automatically. So move ax comma 1234. So click on enter. Move bx comma 5678. Click on enter. Add ax comma bx. Click on enter. Move at the rate 4000 comma ax. Click on enter. Int 3. So that is my program. Okay, na? So again, you came into the assembler to look at the program. Okay, so to come out of the program, again I have to give, to come out of the assembler, you have to give exclamation mark. Okay, so give an exclamation mark, click enter, and you are out of the assembler. So you have come to the dot prompt again. Okay, so this is one way of looking at your program. Of course, in this program, you are able to see the memory location, the instruction, of course, again a memory location, and opcode. So you will be able to fill your table from here. Memory location, instruction, mnemonics and opcodes. Okay, or else we can go to disassembly and check the program. I can go to disassembly and check the program so that every instruction will be shown in a single line. Here for every instruction it is taken 3 lines. There every instruction will be shown in a single line. So to enter into disassembly, the command is Z. To enter into disassembly, the command is Z. So Z space starting address. So what is the starting address of your program? 3000. Comma. What is the ending address? Ending address of the program int 3. Int 3 address is 3000B. See? So ending address is 300B. So Z space 3000 comma 3000B. Okay. So your complete table will be shown. 3000 your instruction it's opcode, 3003 instruction opcode, 3006 instruction opcode, 3008 instruction opcode, 3000B instruction opcode. So like that. Of course, in your disassembly you cannot modify your program. If you assemble it again, you can modify a space 3000, you can modify it. If in your disassembly we cannot modify. Okay, so this is another way of looking at your program. So now I want to run or execute my program. So whatever you have typed now, so that is being stored inside the kit, inside the 8086 processor present on that kit. You are directly storing over there. Again, there is no need for me to download anything. So whatever you have typed in here, so that is directly stored in that particular processor present on that kit. Okay, so now I have to execute it. So in order to execute it, so G is the command. In order to execute, G is the command. So G space, so what is the memory location from where I should start executing? So 3000 is the starting of my program. So I have to execute from 3000. So G space 3000. Okay, Namma, and I will be clicking on enter. So whenever you execute, even in your MASM, after debugging, if you give G, so what happens? Your registers will be shown. In the same way here also, now if I give G space address and click on enter, the program will be executed and your registers will be shown. Okay, see, you can see the registers AX, BX, CX, DX, SP, BP, SI, DI, DS, SS, ES, CS, all are zeros. Segment registers are zeros. IP register will be containing the final address int 3 address, that is 300B. Flag register F006, so you can expand it to see which flag is set and which is 0. And program counter, of course, IP register shown as 20 bits. Okay, and the last line shows the last instruction where your program execution stopped. 3000B address, the instruction is int 3. Okay, so that is not a part of your registers. That is the instruction where your program execution stopped. Okay, so that's it. So that is how you can execute and look at your registers. But of course, so is the program output correct? My input is 1 2 3 4 in AX and 5 6 7 8 in BX. So if I add both of them, the result will be 6 8 7 plus 3 is A and 8 plus 4 is C. Okay, see, in my AX register I got the result 68 AC, but I have also moved it into memory location 4000. Okay, so now if I want to look at the memory location 4000, so what should I do? D. Okay, the command is D. To display a memory location, the command is D. So D space, so I require 4000. So first let us check like this. So D space 4000, and I'll be clicking on enter. So what happened? So I got AC. See? So this is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 at the top is showing, that is 4000, 4001, 4002, 4003 memory locations like that. Okay, that means if I give something like this, D space 4000 comma 40 uh, 06, something like this. From 4000 to 4006 I want to show. I can show it like this. See, 4000 contains AC, 4001 contains 68, 4002 contains 20, 4003 contains 88, like that. But now my data is presented 4000 and 4001. So now 4000, 4001 is enough. I can look as D4000 comma 4001. That's it. See, I got AC 68. Okay, your result is 68 AC. So least significant bit at the least address, most significant bit at the most address. So least significant byte is AC, is at the 4000 memory location. The higher significant byte is 68, is at the higher address 4001. So like this. Or else, because you know that the data or the output should be a word, it is not a byte, so I can give DW also. So DW 4000. So that means to display a word starting at the address 4000. So a word will be shown. So 68AC is the word. Okay. So like this, you can look at the data memory, output or input data. Okay. How to give the input data? So I'll be telling you afterwards. Okay. So this is how you can look at the output data. So you are able to type in the program now in the assembler, come out of the assembler, you are able to execute the program with the command G, and you are able to look at the data memory with the command D, and you are able to look at the program disassembly with the command Z. So Z space starting address comma ending address also you need to give. So then the program will be shown. Okay. So this is how you have to execute a particular program. So this program is not a part of your experiment. So this is just to show you how to use this particular kit. So what is the problem with using like this? So if I use a kit like this, or if I use a program like this, then what happens is if your program is some 20 or 30 instructions long, okay, so whenever you are typing the program step by step, somewhere you may go wrong because the display is clumsy, isn't it? The display is clumsy over here. And of course, if I want to insert a instruction between two instructions. So here it is not possible because every instruction you are directly storing it in the memory. So placing an instruction between two instructions afterwards is not possible now. So in that case, you have to type in all the following instructions. Okay. So if I want to place uh, something before add, so then what I need to do, I have to go to that instruction add 3006 memory location, type in that new instruction there, go to the next, type in the add instruction, go to the next, type in the move. So add instruction తర్వాతవన్నీ నేను మళ్ళీ టైప్ చేయాల్సి వస్తుంది if you forget any instruction in between. So that is the problem if I use term 86E for typing the program. So normally because we are using interfacing programs, they will be large. So instead of using term 86E, we will be using MASM itself. Okay, we will be using MASM itself to type the program, and we will be getting the hex file from MASM, and we will be downloading it into our kit using this term 86. ఓకేనా టర్మ్ 86లో మనం ఈ టైప్లో మనం ప్రోగ్రామ్ రాయము మనం ఏం చేస్తాము అంటే వీఆర్ గోయింగ్ టు టైప్ ద ప్రోగ్రామ్ ఇన్ MASM ఓన్లీ but we are going to come to term 86E, download the program here. If you require, you can check the program here also after downloading, and then you can run the program. Okay, so from now onwards, we are going to use term 86E only to download the program into the kit and run it, not to type the program. Okay, for typing the program, we will be using MASM. Okay. So let us go to MASM and see how to do that. The same thing I am going to do with MASM. Okay. So you know that MASM we have to open from DOSBox. Okay. Okay. So edit example.asm. Okay. So we are using MASM, but no data segment, no code segment. Okay. So org. So because I have to start my program from 2000. So now I will be giving org 2000. But because this is MASM, I have to give org 2000 like this. And because it is MASM, I have to give code segment. Okay. Assume CS code, comma, DS data. But there will be no data segment. So code segment, assume CS code, start. Okay. So this is how we have to write the MASM program. So there is no need of a data segment, that code segment should be there because whatever program you write in your MASM should be present in a segment. Okay, and so when you are using term 860 directly, you gave A space 2000, you have took into 2000 memory location, there you started typing. So now I have to tell assembler that my program should start from 2000 or 3000 whatsoever. Adi 3000 dagra, now it is at 2000. Okay. So 2000, I am going to start my program. So I'll be giving something like move AX comma 0003. Because it is MASM, I am giving H. Move BX comma 0004. So suppose I want to do multiplication. MUL BX. I want to store the result at memory location 5000. Move at the rate sorry, here it should be brackets, isn't it? Move 5000. I don't know whether it is possible or not like that. So this may not be possible. So leave it. So mul bx, that is the end of my program. So int 3. Okay. So at the end of the program, code ends and start. So that is the program. So let me save it, exit. Okay. So now assemble masm eg.asm. So no errors. Next link eg.obj. So no errors. Next debug. But now I don't want to debug. Okay, Nama? Because I am not going to simulate it. కాబట్టి నేను debug చేయను. So what I have to do? I have to send it to my kit. So in order to send it to my kit, so hex file should be generated. So for that, exe to hex is the command. Okay, exe to hex, eg. So exe to hex, click enter, then it will be asking file name. So which file is to be converted? So which file, amma? eg.exe file. .exe is a must. Okay, eg.exe file should be converted, and click on enter. Click on enter. So load segment. So no segments are used. So 0000 is the segment. Origin value 2000 is the origin value. So 2000, enter. So that is the opcode being hex file being generated. So okay, so that is being stored as a hex file on your computer. Okay, so let us come out of this MASM now. Okay, so now, so that is the thing that we have done with MASM. So okay, so we have closed the MASM now. Okay, so before closing the MASM, I want to tell another thing. So let me open MASM again. So for example, again you might have done some mistake, because of which you have come out of the math. So again you have changed your program. So again you have to create a hex file. Again you have changed the program. Again you have to assemble it, link it, and then you have to create a hex file. So suppose I again give exe to hex. What is the file? eg.exe. So what does it say? Hex file already exists, because already you have created a hex file. So for that, what you need to do? First we have to delete that hex file. So del eg.exe కాదు, hex file delete చేయాలి. del eg.hex, and now I'll be again giving exe to hex. So I have to convert eg.exe. Okay, see now we are getting it. So segment address is 0, offset address is 2000. So that is the program. Okay. So if normally we do mistakes, we do assemble again, and when you assemble, first you have to delete that previous hex file. It is not going to overwrite it. So we have to delete it manually, and then only we can convert that exe file to hex again. Okay, Nama? So that is what is regarding MASM. So now if I go to my MASM folder and have a look at this, so it is EG, isn't it? See, I got eg.hex file over here. Okay, eg.asm is what we have written. eg.obj I got when I assemble. eg.exe I got when I link, and eg.hex I got whenever I have converted exe to hex. Okay, if I open that notepad, so this is what is the program present inside that notepad. So this is the program I have to now send it to my 86E kit. Okay, so let me close this first. So where this program is present in C masm eg.hex is the place where this program is present. Okay, so now we got the hex file, so we have to load it into my 86E kit. So this is the term 86E. Okay, so I have to download it. So here at the top you have download. So click on that download. So it is going to ask the path of the hex file. So browse. Okay, so let it open. Yes. So my hex file is present in C drive. So I have to go to C drive, masm folder. I have to go to masm folder. Here eg.hex. So these are what I have already converted. So this is your hex file, ag.hex. Click on open and click on OK. Okay, so it is downloaded to memory location 2000, isn't it? So we have written the program from memory location 2000. So let us see whether we got the program or not. So yes, in the command line, yes space 2000 now, because the previous program we have written over here is at 3000. This multiplication program, so I have purposefully written at 2000. So yes space 2000, move x comma 3, move bx comma 4, move mul bx in 3. See, so whatever program you have written in your masm, I got it into my processor, not term 860, it is processor. Okay, now you can execute it as we have done previously. So g space starting address is 2000. So my output is c. C in your AX register I got c. So if you want to disassemble, so jet space 2000 comma 2008. Okay, so that is your disassembly. Move x comma 3, move bx comma 4, null bx into 3. Okay, na? So this is how you can write the program in masm, create a hex file there, download that hex file into your kit, and execute your program using term 868. Okay, so I think I'm clear now. So this is how we are going to do for 3 interfacing programs that you have in your syllabus, in your lab. Okay, we have 3 interfacing programs. One is with 8259 interrupt controller, 8279 keyboard or display controller, and ADC with 8255. Okay, lock to display controller. So these are the 3 interfaces you need to do with 8086 microprocessor. So for all the 3, so this is the process. You are going to type the program in masm, assemble it, link it, convert it into hex, and then open term 86E, download it into your kit, and run the program. And we will be getting the output. Okay? So, thank you.